As first graders, happy Wednesday, May 27th, 2020. I have 2 Think Outside the Box Tuesdays to share with you. Remember, we had Not a Heart, and Lucas shared with us, it says, this is a cranky witch. I love that. Look at the detail on her teeth. Ooh, she needs a new toothbrush, I think. Great job, Lucas. I love that. All right, and I drew one too. And I thought that the Not a Heart looked like a fishing rod. And that is my dad. He loves to fish on his boat, and he's catching a big bass. So that is my Think Outside the Box Tuesday. Can't wait for next week and to see some more pictures. Great job, guys. All right, today we are going to do Play-Doh snap words. So when I say the word, you say the word. Have, and, each, words, as, we. All right, so you're gonna practice using your Play-Doh on those snap words. All right, so yesterday we talked about hard C and soft C. Remember, hard C sounds like K, soft C sounds like S. A hard C example is cat. A soft C example is dancer. It doesn't have to be the beginning sound. It could be anywhere in the word. So in your kiddie workbooks, we're in Unit 6. We're not going to use any more of Unit 4 or 5. So in Unit 6, turn to page 25. You're going to find 12 words that have either a soft C or a hard C. And I want you to make a T-chart in your notebook. A T-chart looks like this, just a giant T. And I want you to sort the hard C, which sounds like K, and the soft C, which sounds like S, and glue those down. Let me read you some of the words that's on page 25 in our kiddie workbooks. Lip, lip. Does that sound like hard or soft? Pencil, pencil. Carve. Carve is like when you cut something. Cells, cage. Bouncing, scent, center. Bobcat, catch, and that's the first C. Dancer, magic. So go ahead and pause my video, cut these words out, and then sort and glue them on your T-chart that you just made in your notebook. So go ahead and pause my video, and I want you to work on that in the next few minutes. Okay, so hopefully you got to sort those hard C's and soft C's. Now, yesterday we started our new story, Grace, and we know Grace has a soft C in her name. And we read this story, Mr. Spencer and the Rabbits. So let's take a few minutes to reread the text. And then we're going to answer some questions in our kiddie workbook. So go ahead and turn to page 3 in your book, Grace, and track along as I read. Mr. Spencer and the Rabbits. Grace Spencer's dad has a farm. Her dad is a farmer out in the Midwest, where the land is flat and the soil is rich. In the spring, Mr. Spencer plants corn next to the farmhouse. All summer long, he takes care of the corn. By the end of the summer, the corn is ripe. Then Mr. Spencer harvests it and sells it. That is how he makes a living. Mr. Spencer has a garden too. In his garden, he plants eggplants, beets, sprouts, and peppers. Mr. Spencer has had some problems with rabbits. They crawl under the fence, hop into his garden, and munch on his plants. When Mr. Spencer sees the rabbits in his garden, he gets mad as a hornet. He shakes his fist and shouts at the rabbits. Grace and her sister Jill like the rabbits. Grace says they are cute. She tells her dad to be nice and let the rabbits be. But Mr. Spencer can't stand those rabbits. And the Spencers need the plants in the garden to feed them in the winter. Last summer, summer, Mr. Spencer got a dog to force the rabbits out of his garden. The dog's name is Pepper. He is a black dog. He sleeps out in the barn. When Pepper came to the farm, he gave the rabbits quite a scare. They were in the garden munching on sprouts. Then Pepper came charging out into the yard, barking. The rabbits took off. They raced back into their hole as fast as they could. Pepper ran to the rabbit hole and went in as far as he could. He started digging with his paws, but it was no use. It was a deep hole, and he could not get down to where the rabbits were. Mr. Spencer was sitting in the living room at the time. He could tell what Pepper was up to. He smiled. "Good dog," he said. "Good dog. I bet those rabbits will munch on sprouts somewhere else next time." Okay, so now we are going to answer the questions in our story. So turn to page 31 in your Kitty Workbook, 3 and a 1. All right, so the first question says, what is the land like out in the Midwest? They tell us about the land. Their choices are, the land has red rocks. I don't remember reading about red rocks. The land has no plants. Well, if Mr. Spencer is planting vegetables and other plants, then it must have plants. The land has rich soil. Ooh, that sounds familiar, but I want to look back in my text to make sure I'm correct. So on the very first page of the story, in the first paragraph, I'm going to reread that because that's what I remember when I remember reading it. Grace Spencer's dad has a farm. Her dad is a farmer out in the Midwest, where the land is flat and the soil is rich. Ooh, there's my evidence for that first question right there. So question 1, the land has red rocks? No. Answer 2, the land has no plants? That's not true. The land has rich soil. C is your best answer choice. The land has rich soil. We just looked at the evidence. All right, question 2. What things are in Mr. Spencer's garden? I remember them talking a lot about this. Let's go back in our text. Okay, on the first page again. Okay, so we're reminding ourselves what are some things in Mr. Spencer's garden. And it's on the first page of the story in the very last paragraph. So let's see. Mr. Spencer has a garden too. In his garden, he plants eggplants, beets, sprouts, and peppers. So in order to restate the question, my sentence stem is something in Mr. Spencer's garden. Some things in Mr. Spencer's garden are. So that's what you're writing for question 2. All right, and we just read, he plants eggplants, he plants beets, sprouts, and peppers. Eggplants, beets, sprouts, and peppers. Period. Okay, so some things in Mr. Spencer's garden are eggplants, beets, sprouts, and peppers. All right, go ahead and pause my video so you can fill that in. All right, on to question 3. What is the problem with Mr. Spencer's garden? So what's the problem in our story? Is it A, he has rabbits in his garden? B, he has a dog in his garden? He has sprouts in his garden. Which of those is the problem in the story? The whole story is about what? The rabbit's eating his vegetables. The dog is the solution. He fixes the problem. So our best answer choice is A. He has rabbits in his garden. All right, last question, question 4. Pepper helps Mr. Spencer when he A. has a snack from the garden, B. barks at the rabbits so they run off, or C. sleeps out in the barn. How does Pepper help Mr. Spencer? Remember? He barks at the rabbits so they run off. That was the whole reason Mr. Spencer got the dog. All right. So we're going to move on to math. Great job. Yesterday we practiced our double stacks, and they look like this, and I challenged you to go outside with a parent or brother or sister and bounce the ball back and forth and say to count by twos all the way to 20. And if you can do more, you can always do more, but you can't do less. So today we're going to work on doubles plus 1. Now this is what I want it to look like. So you're going to first write 0 plus 0 equals 0. That's your doubles fact. And then you're going to make another column, and it's going to look like this. 0 plus 1 equals 1. So this is our doubles fact column. This is our doubles plus 1 fact column. Let me show you another one. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. So one more is 1 plus 2 equals 3. So you are going to do all of those all the way to 10 plus 11. All right, so go ahead and pause my video, and then I'll meet you back here with all the doubles plus 1 facts. Okay, so here are my columns, and let's go through it together, and you can check yours with mine. I'm going to pull mine up, my paper up, so we can look at one at a time. So we did together 0 plus 0 equals 0, and 0 plus 1 equals 1. The next one is 1 plus 1 equals 2. The doubles plus 1 fact is 1 plus 2 equals 3. Let's keep going. That's not really working. 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's our doubles fact. And doubles plus 1 fact is 2 plus 3 equals 5. Let's keep going. 3 plus 3 equals 6. My doubles plus 1 is 3 plus 4 equals 7. Do you notice how the sums have one more than the doubles facts? 4 plus 4 is 8. So 4 plus 5 is 9. It's one more. Great job. 5 plus 5 equals 10. And my doubles plus 1 fact is 5 plus 6 equals 11. This one says 6 plus 6 equals 12. So one more is 6 plus 7 equals 13. 7 plus 7 doubles fact is equal to 14. And then one more, 7 plus 8 is 15. Getting down to the bottom here, 8 plus 8 equals 16. And 8 plus 9 equals 17. Notice my pattern, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, next I have 9 plus 9, that equals 18. And one more, 9 plus 10 is 19. And all the way at the bottom here, our doubles fact for 10 plus 10 equals 20. And one more, 10 plus 11 equals 21. This is a great thing to make flashcards of. This is really going to come in handy when you do more challenging addition in 2nd grade. Okay, yesterday we started talking about pictographs. What did we start talking about? Pictographs, good job. And the most important part of a pictograph is the key. It's the key, very good. We talked about the title of the graph. We talked about the labels, number of pets, type of pets, and we know that each of these dots is equal to one student. So one student has each of these animals. So the dogs, we have 3. The cats, we had 2. Fish, 1. And remember, our snake category really meant other. So if someone has a hamster or a guinea pig, that would go in the other category. All right, let's look at another one. So the title is Stuffed Animals Owned by Students. So this is the number of stuffed animals and then who owns the student. Their graph looks a little different, but this is still how you label a pictograph. And now, what do you notice that's different about this key? It says 1 stuffed bear is equal to 2 stuffed animals. Oh my goodness. So instead of counting 1, 2, we're going to skip count by 2s. So let's skip count. How many does Sarah have? Let's count together. 2, 4. Very good. So I'm going to write my total right there, 4. How about Billy? Let's skip count by 2s to count Billy's stuffed animals. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Billy has 10 stuffed animals. And finally, Jess. Let's skip count by 2s to count the number of stuffed animals Jess has. 2, 4, 6. All right, so here are my totals. Sarah has 4, Billy has 10, and Jess has 6. All right, let's think about this. All these are just the total questions. So let me see here. Who has the most stuffed animals? Sarah, Billy, or Jess? Who has the most? Billy, that's right, good job. How many stuffed animals? Who has the fewest? Who has the least amount of stuffed animals? Sarah, Billy, or Jess? Sarah, very good. All right. Does Jess or Sarah have more stuffed animals? Let's see here. So Sarah has 4. Jess has 6. Who has more? Jess, very good. She has 2 more. Who has 6 stuffed animals? Which of these people has 6 stuffed animals? Sarah, Billy, or Jess? Jess, that's right. Okay, so that's our practice with pictographs today. And I'm also going to read you another chapter of Harry Potter. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.